Hey, how has your week been? Last Monday, we had Mercury go retrograde into Pisces. And I don't know about you guys, but it has hit me like a ton of bricks. Normally, I read about Mercury retrograde and I just go, what are people talking about? I have no idea. Hasn't affected me. Yeah, it's about reflection and everything else, but I never actually do it. And then last Monday, literally, I felt like I was hit by a ton of bricks. My body felt so heavy. I had 2 interviews to do last week, which I did. And then I took myself off to bed. I went for a walk to try and sort of like re-energize myself. I did some meditation. I did some yoga. None of the usual tools that I use to help myself get out of this funk were working. I went to a Kundalini yoga class on Wednesday. Didn't help. I've drunk loads of water. And still my body has felt heavy. I think it was on Thursday when finally I started to feel more like myself. So as well as, and I'm not an astrologer, I don't profess to be an astrologer, I work as a psychic medium and spiritual entrepreneur, and I can tune in to the energies that are going on around us. So I very much felt last week that Mercury retrograde was making me slow down. This is the first time I have opened my laptop in a week, which is a long time for me. I have done a couple of bits on social media, but that is it. I'm struggling to focus. I have literally had to come back to the very basics of mindfulness and gratitude, living in the moment, and just allowing whatever is occurring today to occur. I feel as if this is going to go on for this first week as well. So the new moon goes into Pisces, or it has gone into Pisces here in the UK now. So I feel as if this first week is also going to be quite slow. So we've had half term. Normally when you get back, you're like straight into it and rushing and everything, but I don't feel like this is going to be the case for this week. I feel as if the work that's been begun in the first part of Mercury retrograde, so this reflecting, which I have done this time, I've sat there and physically wrote down what is serving me, what isn't serving me, what I want to do moving forward, what I don't want to do. So I feel as if from that work that's been done initially, it's like I feel as if it's going to be funneled slightly. So there's going to be stuff that is going to any stuff that doesn't serve you over the next week is going to fall by the wayside. So if in your mind you're very intent on doing something, or that something's going to come about, if it falls by the wayside, you may feel disappointment. You may feel, I've been working so hard for that. Why is it suddenly falling off? But whatever drops away in this next week is stuff that isn't going to serve your higher self, your higher being, and it's not going to serve your higher purpose. So I feel as if we're going into a bit of a funnel. So the things that we've been reflecting on and thinking about, it's going to get narrower and narrower until we become clearer. So I feel as if there will be more clarity and focus, but not until sort of the tail end of next week. The other thing that I wanted to talk about with this energy as well is around relationships. And in terms of karmic relationships and the relationships that we have had in this physical lifetime, in this present lifetime, any past hurts. So you might be able to say there's one of the angel cards that I got last week was around forgiveness in terms of my relationships in this lifetime. But there's also work that's been coming up to do with past lifetimes. So if you've seen any of the spiritual journey videos, I've talked about past lives a little bit with a couple of interviewees or a couple of guests. And what has been coming up for myself recently was a past life in Auschwitz. And this week I just had this sudden memory come back where I did my GCSE German and I got an A for that. Loved it, loved learning the language. In my mind, I'm like, the more languages you can speak, the more people you can connect with. Then when it came to doing my A-level German, my teacher just triggered me massively. I remember, and I'd completely forgotten about this until last week. I would walk out of his lessons and just go and sit in the toilets because he annoyed me so much, and he triggered and triggered and triggered me. And it was only last week that I sort of thought, oh my days, he triggered me because there was that memory of that past lifetime, being in Auschwitz and being told what to do. And then here was he trying to teach me A-level German, trying to tell me what to do. So you may find that there's memories coming up about people. And again, it might be stuff in this lifetime. You might be having very vivid dreams coming up. And the reason that they're coming up for you is for you to process with the tools that you currently have and to let them go. Because holding on to past hurts and holding on to past traumas isn't going to serve you moving forward in this lifetime. So just be aware of whatever's come up for you this last week and going into this week as well. That the reason that you're remembering things or people are coming back into your life potentially is because we need to do that healing work on them or with them. Asking Archangel Michael to cut any cords between you and that person, doing any healing work on yourself, asking for healing, receiving healing. All of this is beneficial for you going forward. So like I said, we've got the new moon going into Pisces. For me, it feels like a very slow energy. So just take your time with anything that is coming up this week. Really, like I said, there's this lack of focus going on. So in terms of starting new projects or new beginnings, in my mind, I don't feel like it's the best time to do that. I feel it's better to sit on it and to just, I say wait, it's like ride it out a little bit. So our perception of time is very different to the universe's perception of time. So we want things done now, we want it done today, we want it done, we have to-do lists, etc. And we're like, must get this done, must get this done. Whereas the universe is like, you've got all the time in the world, darling. So unless there's something very pressing, my advice would be to wait and just sit with it. Think about a new idea, maybe put some more attention into it, put a little bit more detail into it, but not necessarily putting anything out there quite yet. So that is my energy reading for this week. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you are setting any new moon intentions for this coming week. So you normally have, I believe it's up to 72 hours after the new moon to set your intentions, which gives you until Wednesday afternoon. So I do have another video somewhere which I will find and put in the comments around new moon rituals. Okay, have a fabulous week all, and speak to you later.